Maximus Analysis here for November 4th, 2016, and we had a hell of a ending of the week for a hell of a week. And we really want to watch these levels here. Again, we had levels that we posted this morning that worked very, very, very well for those that were looking to intraday trade the futures. Now, again, go back to my Twitter feed. These are all verified, but I had 20, let's put them both in properly. We put 2093.5, okay, as a level. Come on. It rolled off it almost. You took no heat if you faded that level. And then we had another level of 2082. And it closed below that level. I was very, very surprised it didn't have a strong close, but I posted on Twitter, we're only 11 points in, again, the difference. Wait to see what happens till the end of the close. Again, you could be late to, a lot of people started the positions. And I'm looking at very, very oversold conditions on a lot of different things. I did post a couple sectors that might be good to set up that I will be given to the newsletter and discussing in further depth there. But we continue to see weakness, and we got to look at the big picture of what we got going on, because the 2080 area was something that was very significant during 2015. And if you've been following my videos, you definitely remember that level as being a chop area all this time. And even when we go back to the weekly, you probably really see the significance of how it was resistance, broke above, now testing again. High volume today. So again, we want to see if they're going to hold that level, or they're going to come test below here, which would be around the Brexit low. A lot of uncertainty going into next week because of the U.S. presidential elections on Tuesday. I will never talk about who I like or what I like about politics or religion. Never. Because I don't want to get involved with that. I think you probably got more of that crap on your table that you could deal with now anyway. So we'll continue to watch here, but you can see how they faded. Again, they're right against the 200-day moving average, which is probably held here, holding here. But again, you can wait to see exactly where the price action is, but they're very, 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 very oversold at this point. So we'll continue to watch that. Looking at crude, we see that crude has a nice, a nice close to the end of this day. Let's look at the intraday to kind of look and see. Not that good actually, but let's look and see what the weekly looks like. And I think the support level that we have below here is actually 43.12. That was the low, or around there, or the low right here. And 43.12, we're already 1, 2. So another week in, I want to see if they're going to close below this $40 mark. But again, I have no problem with waiting for this position until about Wednesday to Friday because of what's going to happen in these elections. Again, I don't know if it's going to pop up or pop down, but to manage risk, starter positions are recommended if you do something before that. Meaning that if your initial position, let's say, is 10 contracts, you take 2. If it's 1 contract, you take 1. If it's 2 contracts, you take 1. If you take 1 contract, maybe you just wait, because you're trying to mitigate risk, because there's an event on Tuesday that should cause the markets. Again, let's go back to the overall big picture of things, and this is why I always want to make sure I put that stuff in front of your face. We had a flush down on September 9th. Okay, let's be realistic about this. It took so long after this point. It took forever to start doing anything. So we've had 5 weeks of just sideways action before they broke broke below the September 09 weeks action. So, and that area was, again, you look to the lower left, you'll see it's 21.13 and a quarter, but we had 21.16 and a half as a major resistance level that we saw, and now they're testing this 2082 level, which again, the 2080 area, which, trust me, I've gotten a couple tweets like, dude, are we at this again? Yes, we're at it again, and we got to just treat it accordingly. Now, it's how it's retracing into that portion. So we want to see if they're going to flash, go back down. But I also, again, will be putting proper levels on the newsletter this week. Okay, we have a couple sectors, and I'll do some sector analysis. As we talked about XLE, which is the energy sector, and we can see that, again, it's pulling back down, I would manage risk for that, and you can see I had this on the newsletter, and we'll continue to watch those areas as well. Again, my levels are used for daily and intraday time frame. That's the cool thing about it, is that again you can look at these levels on the daily, and I look at them again. I had 2186 as the high. It got a little bit above that, but again it broke. When it broke this week, that's where it broke on. Look at where the high is, 2189 and a quarter. Yes, it's not perfect, but 3 points on a weekly chart, I'll take it. So we'll continue to watch, because we have this uncertainty, but we're at oversold areas, and there's a lot of names that we'll look to see if they're going to start setting up for some more downside potential, and some that we're looking for more upside potential. Again, downside potential, maybe we see lows. Is it lows? No, this one. Oops. L. Yes, so we have Lowe's Corp Group that we see setting up here, and if you want to look at what the weekly looks like, again, you can see that that's something that gave a gap up and faded all the way back down. If you look at the price action, I bet you this is around the 50% of the swing. I have not done it, but let's do it right now, just kind of see where we're going. So there you go. It's very, very close. Probably got to the 61.8 and faded. So, and it's on high volume. So think about what happened. And this looks like it might have been like on earnings or something like that. It gapped up. If you go to intraday, gapped up all the way up, and it faded everything down from there. So even, again, guys use like the 15-minute. That's the lowest I ever look. And again, once it got below that 15-minute overhead range, it kind of broke down. But either way, we have some setups that we'll look at, but we don't want to get too overly aggressive on things, and this is the reason why I want to make sure you guys are looking at proper information, and not just this year. I want you to look at a lot of information so you can see kind of where we are and where things are going, and using those higher time frames to give you some type of perspective. So we'll look and see, but again, it was a very, very odd open close. But here's the thing to keep in mind. This is why, again, I will tell you why I hate, and hate is a strong word, but the weekly options, that was just to burn the weekly option puts. The weekly puts went in. There's probably a ton of people that thought it was going to get crushed, and that pop-up is all it takes for those that that bought. That's all it took for those that bought puts at yesterday's close. It pops up to here, they sell them, or they think it goes worthless, and then they roll it back down when it's basically a penny, and you're like, I might as well take them off or whatever. So they gain money on that. So watch and see what the open looks like, and we have a big event. Big event, bigger than a lot of things that we've currently been seeing the market move on a hummingbird's fart. So again, just be careful in regards to how you go into this, being that there's such a global event, if you want to call it that, because of just how, whatever. Just be careful going in full size around this area. We closed at 2080. 2080 resonates, you guys. Again, go back to my videos. If you want to go all the way back to 2015, you'll see why this resonates all of a sudden. Take care. And those that don't get the newsletter, you need to be on it. Email me at max@maximusanalysis.com. I send them out Monday. Okay, Monday around 10 to noon. Again, it's looking at the higher time frames and stuff like that. But again, I did give a couple names on the Twitter feed, so you could check that out as well. But we'll go into and dig in deep then. Take care.